Hey guys, this is Jean. I do communication for Synotrip. COVID-19 has changed everybody's life, especially those who work in tourism industry. We have been talking to our tour guides over the world ever since the pandemic started, and we think some of their stories need to be heard. Today I'm talking to Jean Claude. He's one of Synotrip's tour guides in Madagascar. He used to be an experienced tour guide and now he's selling fruit juice on the street. Let's hear some of his stories. So hi Claude, thanks for talking to us. So how long have you been a tour guide?
Hi Eko, it's nice to be with you too. Okay, I have been a tour guide in Madagascar since 1995. And since 2014, I become a licensed national tour guide in Madagascar. So I have been a tour guide about 20 years now.
Oh, cool. So in which city you live?
Currently, I'm living here in Untitled. Untitled is the third biggest city in Madagascar. Before, I lived in Mianrivazu. Mianrivazu is my home city, where I started doing my job as a tour guide, but currently I'm here in Untitled.
Ah, okay. Is it a popular tourism city?
Of course, because Untitled is not far from the capital of Antananarivo. It's about 170 kilometers far away from Antananarivo. And the tourists must pass in Untitled when they go to the west coast of Madagascar or when they go to the south coast of Madagascar. So this is an unavoidable place to see in Madagascar.
Okay, that's probably why you moved there, right?
Yeah, and it's not far from Antananarivo, and they can move easily to Antananarivo to pick up my customers from the airport.
Okay. Did you study tourism in school?
No. The answer is no. But when I want to give a little bit of information about why I become a tour guide. In my home city, it's called Mianrivazu. The tourism is not well known before 2000. And when I see tourists passing in my home city, nobody can stop me talking with them because I want to practice my French language and improve it. And finally, after a few years, I decided I had an idea to organize and propose those tourists a trip on the river during 3 days and 2 nights. And my job started from there. It was on 1995 I started doing that. And there were the tourism, as I said, people did not know that before 2000. And when we see tourists passing our home city, we call them Vaza. Vaza is all the people all foreigners from Europe. Vaza, and they are the tourists. We start hearing this after 2000. And most tourists visiting Madagascar before 2000 were from France.
Oh, yeah?
From France, yeah. So the English language was not popular. And from 2002, there are more English tourists visiting Madagascar.
Is tour guide a popular job in Madagascar now?
Sure. So after 2000, tour guide job is very, very popular, and it really can help lots of young who doesn't find any job in Madagascar, and many people start learning the foreign language because they want to be a tour guide too.
Yeah. So before the pandemic, do you work on yourself or you work for a company?
I am a freelancer tour guide.
Okay.
So I work for my own account until now.
Cool. So how often did you work then? Like how many days do you have this
My
1 week?
goodness, that I really miss it because you know I don't stay with my family. Let's say I stay only maximum 1 week with my family when I do this job. So I work about 23 days a month, maximum 1 week I stay with my family.
Yeah. So you were very busy. Where most of your kids
Yes,
from?
yes. Most of my customers are from USA.
You must like your work, right? Because from the conversation, you
Exactly.
really missed it.
I love it because, as I said, I started doing it since 1995. So I don't have another job than that. I want to go back to my usual job as a tour guide. So I really love.
Do you have kids?
I have two children, one son and one daughter. And my daughter is now staying with her boyfriend, and my son is helping us to do our family business, as I say it.
Cool. So did your wife work, or she was full-time taking care of your family before the pandemic?
She has no job, but she's only working at home. She doesn't have any job.
But she's now helping you with the
Exactly, and she gives us so any idea to do this to do our current business, because at any time I come back home after my tour, she always prepares me some drinks, and it gives us an idea to do it.
So when was your last client? When did the Madagascar close the border?
February 2020, and our borders were closed from March 2020. On that month, I should still have two different clients, but when these borders were closed, I cannot work anymore from 2020.
Okay, so you haven't had any income since then.
My goodness, that's very terrible. I don't have anything. I don't have any income anymore from that, so I just use my saving to help my family during this hard period.
In our previous email, you told us you sold your motorcycle.
Not only motorcycle. Because when I cannot work anymore from March 2020, I still have my savings, so it can help us until, let's say, until July or August. And after that, I don't have anything anymore. I still have my goods at home. So we decided to sell them one by one, because we expect that the tourism will resume sooner. So we decided, okay, why we don't sell this motorcycle? Why we don't sell this TV set? So we agreed. We agreed, me and my wife and my family. Okay, because we don't have any, so we have to sell those things. So we start selling our goods from September 2020.
How much do you need to support your family per month?
Currently, I need at least $400 every month to support my family for our rent of the house, for daily meals, breakfast, lunch, and our dinner, and electricity and water. I need roughly $400 every month to support my family.
Have you or your family got infected in a pandemic ever?
That happened to me.
Yeah.
That happened to me on last April this year, 2021. More precisely, I was admitted to the hospital here in Untitled on April 21st. And I was discharged from the hospital on 29th of April. And when I went back to home, I had to stay indoors during 13 days. Yeah. Unfortunately, just a few days after that, my wife got infected also, this coronavirus. So she was admitted to the hospital also about 1 week. So during April and May, we had a very, very terrible situation with my family, because we could not work, we could not do our daily activity anymore.
Was there anybody help you with that?
Now I want to thank those people who helped me, especially my friend. He lives in France. His name is Jean-Louis. Jean-Louis really helped me. Jean-Louis is one of my customers in 2004. And we kept in touch times to times. So when I had this coronavirus, I contacted him, and he sent me money by Western Union, and he really helped me. And I want to thank also my nephew. My nephew is one of my family before, because he stayed with me. I paid his school at a private school and at a driving license school. And when he knows that I am infected by this coronavirus, he sent me money. And finally, I don't want to forget also my sister, my younger sister, because she helped us to bring our foods in the hospital during our stay in that hospital here in Antirabe.
So, what brought you the idea of selling juice? When did you start it?
And as I told you before, that my wife used to make drinks for me when I come back from my tour. My wife always does at home, and in Madagascar the weather requires that drinks also for the population. So we said, okay, let's try to do these things if it works, and I think it can work, but the budget is not really enough to make it bigger than we are doing now.
Yeah. Where do you sell your juice?
We don't have any regular shop, but my son, he brings the cool box. We fill the cool box with our drinks, and my son walks on the street and goes to the market and sell it to everyone. And me and my wife, I use my car, and we move with that also. And we go to the marketplace, and over there we just set the table and can sell the drinks. But in Antirabe there are two events. The first event is on Saturday. Every Saturday there is a Zebu market here in Antirabe, and every Sunday there is also the cockfighting, and we never miss those two events in Antirabe, and we go there and sell our drinks to the population who attend this event.
How much money you can make a day, can I ask?
Not very big, because maximum we can sell every day is 3 liters.
3 liters.
So one liters cost about $3, and people don't buy directly 1 liter, but they buy per glass. So to get $1, we have to sell 7 glasses.
Okay, I see. What's your most popular juice?
Lychee, that is the popular one, and the pineapple, and pineapple and coconut. Also, we use a coconut juice and lemon juice. Those 4 are the most popular.
Do you know anyone who is in a similar situation as you?
Yeah, lots of them. I want to tell you some of them. One of my colleagues becomes a shoes seller right now in the market, and some of the tour guides become a rickshaw driver. You know, there are rickshaw here in Madagascar. In French, it's called pousse-pousse. So they become a pousse-pousse driver. And some tour guides who have who can speak well English or French or Italiano or Germany, they open a little private school, and they teach this language to the people who need that. So just for surviving.
So you can say this is like a common situation for most of the tour guides. And do you have a union that can help you, like tour guide union?
Yes, every city has almost every city has an association, tour guide association, but the tour guide association cannot help anymore all the members within them because it takes too long this problem, and maybe the association can help only for, let's say, for 1 or 2 months or 3 months maximum. Yeah, but now the situation lasts already almost 2 years now, so we cannot help anymore each other between this association. And the problem, the common problem with all the association, even the problem for individual tour guide, we never get any help from the government in Madagascar during this pandemic in Madagascar. Nothing. But I tell you that even the people who, I'm sorry to tell you this, the people who sell sex, I don't know the appropriate word to say that, the government gives them a financial help at the beginning of this pandemic. And we find, myself, I think, okay, it's fair because they cannot work. So why not? They really should have something from the government to help them. But when these things last so long, the problem comes to the tour guides also because we cannot work. But we did not receive anything from the government. They know it. They see it, but tour guides can't work anymore from 2020, March 2020.
I remember in our emails you mentioned last year you have a protest on Facebook.
I made it. I put on my profile Facebook profile picture on my Facebook a message to our government. It says, save tourism and travel, open the borders. I did that. And I invite all my Facebook friends, especially my colleague in this tourism area, to do the same profile picture on their Facebook, and they did it. But there is no response from the government, even we made that on our Facebook.
Have you tried to contact them in other ways?
I am among the association also here in Untitled. We called the journalist. We make a press conference to tell the journalist that we are really suffering during this pandemic, and there's no action from the government after that. And we had also a marching through Untitled city. We bring a label to say to push the government to open as soon as possible the borders so we can work, but that doesn't have any response also from.
So you think the situation will be different if they open the border?
Yes, of course. For me especially, I think it will change the situation because that's our job to work with the tourists, and the tourists are from the abroad. They cannot come in Madagascar as long as this border kept closed like this. So when I tell you that I still receive some inquiries from customers right now, but unfortunately I cannot give them a satisfaction because our borders are still closed. So I think when it opens, I'm sure that things will get back better, much better than before.
Is the vaccination started in Madagascar?
Yes, we received 250 doses of AstraZeneca 2 months ago, but we could not finish all these 250 doses. So it represents about 1% of the population in Madagascar. And right now, 2 3 days ago, I heard that we still have 8 million of Johnson Johnson. I don't know when it will arrive in Madagascar. If it will really arrive in Madagascar, we can vaccine about 30% of the Malagasy population with this Johnson Johnson.
Oh, that's a good news. So do you think it's capable to open the border again in Madagascar now? Because like, for example, how Europe is open. You can travel in most of the countries, but you have to hold a corona negative pass, or you have been vaccinated, and then you can be travel. Mostly like before the of course the hotel also has higher standards to keep the spreading in control. So do you think if the border is open, Madagascar is capable for that?
That's the things we can't understand, why the Minister of Tourism in Madagascar doesn't have this idea. It's very easy for me. When people have their negative pass, when people have their, when people are vaccinated, when people follow all the measures, why not? Why they cannot go in Madagascar? You know, in Madagascar, this coronavirus did not kill people more than 1,000 during 1 year. But in Madagascar, every year, the malaria can kill 1,000 people in Madagascar. And why this coronavirus can kills only less than 1,000 people in Madagascar, and we cannot allow those tourists to visit Madagascar if they really follow all the measures. So, I mean, we should apply a rule or regulations to those tourists who want to come on Madagascar, and those tourists can decide if they go and have to follow the rules or they don't want to go because there are many rules. I think that's the simple things the Minister of Tourism should do.
You mentioned that there are still some people contacting you.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year, almost every month, there is someone just to ask me an update about what's the situation in Madagascar. And I always tell them that, okay, the coronavirus doesn't have any problem for the Malagasy people if I compare it with the malaria. But those people, when they contact me, they want to know about when the borders of Madagascar will open. And that question I cannot always answer. I cannot precise when, because there is no plan for that in Madagascar. You know, one thing I am really sad. Last April, there were 14 people who wanted to come in Madagascar to make a film, but they can't. And they said, okay, if we cannot go on April, just on the time I had this coronavirus. And yeah, and I said, okay, the frontiers are still closed in Madagascar, so they postponed it on last August. So they want to come in Madagascar, and the August, the borders are still closed. So, you know, I am very frustrated for that. They have to stay in Madagascar 3 weeks with them. So that's I am very sad for that situation because I was frustrated.
Did they say any plan for the rest of 2021 or 2022?
This 2021, I am very hopeless for that. Maybe next year we will see.
And the last one, do you have anything you want to say for people who might watching this video?
First of all, I want to thank them already. My life is really upside down due of this pandemic. So everyone who wants to give help or donation especially to grow our family business, we are open for them. And we don't ask, thousand, but just to give their their impression for our situation, current situation, and they are very, very welcome. Whatever things they can help us here in Madagascar.
Thanks for talking to me today, Jean Claude.
I thank you so much too, because I am feeling better when I can share my situation to you and to everyone who watches this video.
Everyone in Synotrip concerns about you. Because the first time you shared your email and then I shared with my colleagues and then they really care about you. That's why we have this interview today.
You are very welcome, Eiko, and nice to see you. And don't forget that I'm always a tour guide. I want to be within a Synotrip as long as I live on this earth.
Okay, thank you so much.